Hi, how are you doing? Welcome to the Empathy Explorers podcast, the place where you'll find conversations with people that pursue their passion. They share the blueprint to their journey, dive deeply into the habits and goals the fellow explorers share with us. So start packing and make sure you are ready for the journey. For the first episode, I asked a friend from the start of my Instagram journey to join the show. His name is Anzor Abazov. He's a fellow UX designer. He's from Russia and he's able to manage freelance work, agency work, and university altogether. In this episode, you'll learn how he does that and what it takes to be creative in Russia. You'll also learn about a post that made him go viral and grow a ton of followers. A real pleasant conversation with some actionable advice. So, without further ado, enjoy the show. Hi, Anzor. Thank you for taking the time to come on this show.
Hello, Ruud. Yeah, my pleasure, man.
Yeah, we actually met at the start of my Instagram career somehow. We joined a group that shared stories with each other, and we also shared the Instagram post to get a bit of followers. And I noticed, yeah, you were one of the most laid back people in the group, and I don't know, we just clicked somehow.
Yeah, I know. It was like from the start, like instant click.
Yeah, really cool. And I would love to ask you something about your Instagram account and how did you start this and all. But I looked into you, I Googled, and I found something really funny. I saw you were from Nalchik. Did I pronounce that right?
Yeah. Malchik, that's true. You pronounced it like a real Malchik citizen.
Is it called a Nalchik citizen, or do you have some kind of name for Nalchik
We
people?
have it in Russia, in Russian, but I'm not sure how it's translated to English.
How would you say it?
Nalchanin, basically. Nalchanin.
Nalchani. Okay.
Nalchanin, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I looked up where it was, and I saw it's almost near Georgia. Am I right? South
Yeah, that's
of
true.
yeah, really nice nature actually. Uh, but one thing stood out when I googled the city because if you look it up, it's Nalchik
Yep.
in Russia. But one of the first images you see is a big, giant statue of a soldier's head with he's holding some kind of torch or something. What is that?
I actually don't know.
you
What do you
you
mean? Like
yeah,
the statue, like the big statue with something on his head, right?
it's like one of the most iconic. If you Google your city, it's like the first image you see is it's a big head with yeah, some kind of what do you say? He
That's
has
true.
some kind of torch in his hand.
Yeah, I know it. I know who you're talking about actually. So
Do,
it's his name is Sasruka actually, and basically I have to tell you this whole story so you can understand who it is.
yeah.
We have like our own culture basically in the land I am from. So this guy is actually a part of our big history, and he was a warrior basically. He was like there was a myth that he was born from a stone actually.
Okay.
And that's all I know. That's all I know. I'm actually not that, you know, good in history, but our history is really rich, and yeah, we have like a lot of myths and stuff. So yeah, and it definitely is worth the visit. So you should come, Ruud.
And is it just a statue or does it have more to it?
Well, I think right now it's just a statue and also like something like a restaurant inside, maybe.
A restaurant inside, okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like at the other end of my city. Oh, at my house. I mean, at the place where I live, basically.
Yeah.
So I live kind of on the south of the city, and this place is kind of on the the other side, basically, something like that.
Okay.
So I don't
So,
know much about it. Never actually been inside.
but is it like one of the key points in your city, or is it?
Yeah, actually, and we also have a lot of key nature points as well. For example, like Elbrus Mountains, which is like the highest point on Europe in Europe, and definitely like it's I think it's the most like iconic thing about my city, my place.
Yeah, is that where?
Have you ever heard about it?
No, I haven't actually. Yeah, um, we have the Alps. That's pretty close, but I've been there. I thought that was the highest in Europe, but you say that's higher.
Wait, let me compare. Actually, hmm, I gotta Google that. Maybe I'm wrong.
So it's that where you went skiing or snowboarding.
That's true. Yeah, and yeah, actually, it is highest. Elbrus, Mount Elbrus is generally accepted to be the highest mountain in Europe.
Oh, that's a cool fact.
Yeah.
Is it is the place also like a ski resort or something?
Yeah, it's a really popular ski resort, and actually, like many people from Europe come there, surprisingly. So yeah, you should come, man. You should definitely come.
Yeah, it's one of the lesser known places in Europe, so really
Yeah,
cool to visit sometime. Is it the place also where you grew up or?
yeah. I was actually born here in Nelchik, and well, I've never been not only abroad, but like never even lived in the other city. The first time was last year when I went to Moscow. That was like the first time when I actually lived in the other city than Nelchik. So yeah, born and raised.
Ah, very
What
cool.
about you?
Yeah, I'm from a really small town actually. It has back then think it had around 3,000 people. Now it has around 4,000, so that's even less than less than what you have because I would count that as a pretty large city if it has 300,000 people living there.
Yeah, yeah. In European sizes, it's a big city.
Yeah.
But Russia, is like huge, stupidly huge. So what's your city called?
Do you really want to look it up? It's
I
where.
might actually know it. I actually was following Netherlands, that like Dutch league, Eredivisie, I think it's called, the football league.
Okay, yeah. Well, one of the closest cities that has a Eredivisie club. Well, not this year, but it's NAC Breda.
Yeah,
That that's
I know it.
uh, that's really close to where I live. So,
Hmm.
but fun fact.
I can look it up. I can look it up.
So, yeah, I want to ask you: uh, Are you? What does your family household look like? Do you have brothers or sisters or?
Well, yeah, I actually have two brothers, and yeah, mom, dad, two brothers.
And are
Something
they
like that.
older than you or?
Yeah, and they're both brothers are older than me. So yeah, one is 11 years older, another is like 14 years older. So
Whoa, okay. So that's a big difference. Do,
yeah, that is
yeah, do you?
actually taught me a lot.
Yeah, I can
What?
understand. Yeah, what did they teach you?
Well, a lot apparently. Like many things, especially like I can't like name them right now because like most of the things they taught me were when I was like a little kid. But right now, as of right now, I can say that they actually taught me to like how to speak with kids, for example, because they both have kids, and basically I was looking how they um, manage this relationship, you know, between them and their kids, and that taught me a lot. And now I'm like more patient with them, more, kind of talk to them basically
Yeah, and
right way.
that kind of communication skill that you need with kids, did it also help you for like other things, like job interviews, or maybe even talking to grown-ups in some other way? Or
Mm, no, this didn't help me, but what helped me a lot in like my work is that my mom taught me how like to perceive, I guess, work. Like she is a hard worker. She owns like her own store basically in the center of the city, and she is like she wants her kids to be as hardworking as she is. So she taught us a lot in terms of like hardworking.
yeah, I can
And
understand.
yeah, and that's actually led me to try to like outwork everyone. Like that's my mentality, which actually my mom gave me. So props to her.
Yeah, that's really cool that you saw that from when you were a little kid. And I don't know, did you also work in her store or?
Yeah, when it was like starting up, or just like first, I think 2, 3 months, I was helping out. I was like basically going to the big market basically where we buy food and stuff like that for our little shop.
What
I
kind of
was like
store is
going
it?
there. What's that?
What kind of store is it?
It's like just organic foods, basically meat, milk, um, cheese, and stuff like that. So it's like all natural because like we have a lot of land and we have like a lot of natural stuff, real stuff, and so people actually prefer that to something that usually is being brought from like other cities nearby.
Yeah, I can understand. Yeah, if she had a store like here in Europe, it would boom really quickly.
You think so?
It's people are getting more anxious towards the food they eat in from the supermarkets right now. So,
hmm
um, and I don't know if how is she holding up right now? Is she still does she still have this store or?
Yeah, it's actually we actually opened it like I think 2 years ago, almost 1.5 year ago. So yeah.
Is she still holding up with all the things going on right now?
Actually, she is doing a lot of protection stuff to to be able to keep the store working. She's like, basically, she bought this bottle of vodka, and since she has like a lot of customers, she lets them only like one by one in the store. So one customer walks in, and the others are waiting outside, and she's watching what the customer that walked in is touching, and she's like cleaning it afterwards, letting another customer. She's like super, super, cautious about it. And yeah, I think she shouldn't close the store because like we don't. It's not that serious in Russia, like this virus thing. But yeah, I'm still worried about her. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I hope she'll able to manage to get through this. I feel like
Yeah.
she's taking the right measurements already, so even more
hmm
than a lot of stores here in the Netherlands are doing right now. So,
Yeah.
uh,
Are they working here?
well, it's most of the things are still open and people are still hoarding stuff, and I feel like they should give a halt to that somehow. But
Hmm.
well, maybe that's something for a whole another political talk. So
Yeah,
um,
about design after all.
yeah, and yeah, you said you're a designer. You started in college, I think, or did you start even before that with creating stuff?
What did you say? When did I start?
Did you start creating when you went to college,
Oh,
or
in
did you even
college.
start before?
Well, I actually started way before college when I was like 15 years old. So like 5 years ago, I think. But I started like really small. I was doing Photoshop things, like basically super simple banners, and yeah, they're funny to look at right now. So yeah, what about you? When did you start?
Yeah, I started. Um, I started around the age of 13, I think. I, uh,
13?
yeah, well, not for work, but
Whoa.
for own stuff. I,
That's actually crazy. I've actually never met someone who started like earlier than me. So
well,
that's cool.
I think in some way everyone starts really young
Yeah.
in this work field. But most of the times it's with smaller things, you know. I always drew, I always took pictures of stuff, and later on I knew that I was always creating something, but um, that's what you see in hindsight, you know.
Yeah.
I started even with the Photoshop, the cracked version, and you can only do a couple of things, and then it would crash, and you would need to try to find another download and stuff. So that was a pain in, yeah, you know what.
Yeah, those like yeah.
And now with CC, I think it's really expensive, especially for students and stuff. But I think it's much better updated, and you can get a lot of stuff that's really compliable to like almost every piece of hardware that you have. So that's a lot better right now.
Yeah. I know that people in Europe and people in the US, they tend to like pay for Adobe products. And you would be surprised if you knew that people in Russia, they don't buy Adobe like at all. They just steal it from some like sources. Even on Macs, they somehow steal it and download it for free.
Yeah,
And
I think it's
I
still
think, yeah,
possible, but
did you? Yeah. Is it like a cultural thing? So yeah, like it's kind of bad to download it for free, like to be a pirate, basically. I don't know if that's the term.
I think if you're young, you don't really know the value of something, so you don't really know why it is that expensive, and you always think, well, why is it not free? Um,
Yeah,
but as you get older, I start to realize it's a hell of a job to even make things like Photoshop, and I can't imagine what those people go through to make that stuff. So I'll gladly pay something for it. And even if
yeah,
it's expensive, you know uh, how much better your workflow is when using those kind of apps. So
true that.
um, yeah, you said you started earlier. Is there what brought you to college? Because what kind of major are you doing right now?
Actually, not really. I started like just because I don't know, kind of I was bored. I started just photoshopping some stuff. And then I realized that I can sell it, and I just started to contact some YouTube channel owners, so like I was just basically telling them, hey, I can do this for like 50 rubles or something. 50 rubles is like half a dollar right now by the
Really?
currency. Yeah, it is. I was like really cheap on this because just I was just having fun. I liked it a lot. And yeah, I was just slowly progressing. And speaking about the thing that led me to choose this computer science major, basically, it was not the fact that I was designing. It was about the fact that I just didn't know what to choose. And so I went for like the most familiar thing, which was computer science.
Okay.
What did you study in the university?
Yeah, I studied IT and media design, and it was the closest thing to doing things in Photoshop. So that's why I did it.
Yeah.
Um, but you said something really cool. You said you did it for 50 ruble, which is like 50 cents or a
Yeah.
dollar or something right now. I don't
Yeah,
know what
50,
it was
50
back then, but
cents. Yeah.
um,
That was even less back then, man. That was even less, I think.
well, the fact that you did it for that kind of money and not for free, I think that's really impressive as well at such a young age.
Yeah. Did you earn any money when you were like before college, basically, when even like a few euros were a lot to a kid?
Yeah, yeah, I understand. Yeah, I didn't ask anything for my design stuff until like even after school. So uh, I should have done that as well, but I don't know. I was always too scared to do that somehow.
Pricing is really scary,
Yeah,
even now.
yeah, and I think we are in some kind of work field where we don't want to oversell, but actually we
That's
never
true.
sell.
That's true. That's true.
Um,
That happens. So what kind of work did you do when you were like at the young age? When
well,
when did you where did you start?
I actually started with stuff making for like wallpapers for your computer,
Hmm.
and then it went into do you know those old forum banners?
Oh yeah, I was
Yeah,
making them as well.
yeah. I used to
Yeah.
make them for like all kind of weird clan things and such. Um,
Uh-huh.
so that was pretty fun, and that made me realize that I really wanted to create more stuff. I did some CD labels.
CD. Whoa, did you make CD labels?
Yeah, but for myself, not for selling purposes. So,
So not only you did like you've designed CD labels, which is impressive already,
well,
because
it was
yeah,
not
that's
that hard
cool.
actually
Different kind of
because
design.
um, for starting up, well, it was just fitting some images together and slapping some um,
Hmm.
the track list on the back. And you also had for, I think it was Photoshop CS3, you had some mock-ups that I
That's an
downloaded.
old one, man.
Yeah,
That was so old.
yeah, I know people that used the first one. Um,
Wow.
but yeah, the third one was actually quite similar to what it is now, only better. Um, but that was a fun time, and that made me realize that I wanted to do something more with that.
Yeah. So you said that you did it for yourself. Did you like play music or something?
No, I didn't play music, but I used to make CDs for when uh, I'm in a car or some I made for my friends actually, and I had some also pirated tools to make kind of track lists
Uh-huh.
together, and I used to download
I
everything
see.
from the internet and create stuff for myself, But I
Mm-hmm.
was
So
always
you
afraid.
was like you're like a DJ,
I was really
basically.
afraid to sell any of those stuff, so always did it for free because I knew I pirated like everything. I pirated the pictures, I pirated the tracks, I pirated the tools that I use. So I was like, oh, okay, I cannot ask some money for this. But in hindsight, who would have known that I used those pirated stuff? So
Yeah, that's true. It's actually funny that, it's like different, that like the mentality is different. Because like in Russia, people were selling them like at every CD store. Basically, they were selling like um, pirated stuff as well, and I was selling them. I remember in front of like some schools nearby. I was just doing the same as you, but like with games and movies, basically.
yeah, but you actually sold them, so that's
Yeah, like
a
a
nice
few
step.
ones, like two, three. That I'm not that big of a businessman.
No, and there was always some guy that had like all the CDs and all the games, and you could go to that guy and he would make everything for like a couple of euros or uh,
Yeah,
rubles, I think.
yeah. Well, not a couple of rubles, maybe, but like a couple of hundreds
Yeah, I don't
for
know
sure.
what is the currency. How much ruble is 1 euro?
Well, it's actually going really slippery slope or something,
Yeah.
because this market crash thing. It was 70, I think, or like less than 70, and now is something like closer to like 80 something, 90
Okay, so it's
rubles per euro.
devaluating.
Yeah,
Hmm, that's
it's
bad
kind of
for.
sucks.
Yeah, when because you also said in a conversation earlier that you wanted to visit Europe sometime,
Yeah,
maybe this summer, but don't know if
seems
that's.
like I won't. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, I hope that it will just, disappear somehow.
yeah, I hope so
No,
too.
not like because like I want to visit Europe and something like that, not because of like my egoistical reasons, but people are dying. That's, I think, like the most sad part. Doctors are dying, and sad, really. So
Yeah, it's terrible to see the news. Yeah.
that's true.
Let me revert back a bit because
Hmm.
um,
That's kind of negative.
yeah, that's kind of negative thought. You're in the last year of your university study.
Yep.
Um, how do you feel about the study that you're doing? Do you feel that it improves on what your skills are, or do you feel that like you learned anything?
Honestly, not really. Not at all. We don't have really like well-developed universities in Russia, not gonna lie. Maybe like the best ones are good, but the ones that are in the smaller cities of the country are really poor, really bad, because simply they don't have enough, I think, budget to, you know, basically find people who can educate students well enough. And they don't have people that will, educate students that will be teachers. That sucks, really.
Yeah, I can understand.
Everyone, if you're a smart person, if you're like a good specialist, basically, if you know what you're doing, you're just gonna take your stuff. You're gonna go to Moscow. You're gonna work there. And then you're gonna go to Europe or America or whatever. You're never gonna work here because our IT, especially IT, like field, sucks. So, uh, getting back to your going back to your question, no, I haven't actually learned anything.
Yeah,
So
is the work
just
field really small there then?
it's non-existent
Oh,
at
right.
all. Like we don't really have any jobs here, like in IT field.
Okay, so what is your goal when you're done then?
Well, I think I'm just gonna. I hope I'm gonna go to Moscow again. Find a job there. And then hopefully I'm gonna move somewhere to like Europe or um, America. So that would be really, really awesome. I know you like America as well, right? One of your top countries to
Yeah,
visit.
I hope we can visit it in June, but I don't know if that will happen. Uh,
Yeah, man, that's. I hope so. I hope everything's gonna be fine. So you had great plans for
yeah,
June.
yeah. Well, so the center of like everything IT related is also in Moscow, and you are not able to finish it in Nalchik, where you are right now.
Oh, I mean, what do you mean? I'm sorry. What did you say?
Like the university that you're at is also in Nalchik.
Yeah,
Um,
unfortunately.
yeah. Well, one interesting thing why is it that there is an IT study there when there's no work field for you to work in?
Well, that's a big question that I don't know. I can't answer it. People just I don't know. They just want to be, tr- I don't know, really. I'm just trying to answer this, and I don't know because like this is so stupid. Why would you have this IT like computer science major in your university if you can't teach it, right?
No, I understand.
So,
It's really weird,
yeah,
but I hope you're
I
able
just
to go to Moscow somehow and find a job there then. But
yeah.
yeah, so does it take a lot of time because you also are a freelancer?
Yeah, actually, it doesn't really take much time, but if you don't go to classes, you can actually skip classes here in my university and not get punished for that. You might face some minor problems, but I think they're like pretty easily. You can avoid it. You can avoid them by just going like few times a month, few times a week, maybe. Depends on the major, on your major. I think it's much more strict in like your city, right? Do you have any like universities in your city?
Um, we have uh, bachelor programs here. I finished a bachelor. It's not a major. And majors
Hmm.
are at universities are really close. Actually, the Netherlands is a pretty small country, so you are able to find universities within an hour of your city, almost everywhere. So
Wow. So how long does it take you to go to like let's say Amsterdam on the car?
probably, yeah, just over 1 hour.
Wow. So you can go like you can talk to me and you can go to Amsterdam. Like and when you're going to be there, the podcast is going to be finished basically.
Yeah, basically, yeah. So
Something like that.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
Russia in comparison with the Netherlands is yeah something David versus Goliath.
Yeah. That's so true.
Yeah, so
Can you guess like how many hours does it take to go to Moscow from my city? Don't
but
you?
by car or
Yeah. Yeah,
um,
or by a plane if you want,
by
but
plane. By plane, I think 4 hours,
actually two.
two
What about
hours.
the car?
Okay, and by car, well, probably like 20 hours or something.
Yeah, that was really accurate. That was something like that. Yeah.
It's incredible. Yeah,
Yeah.
when we drive like 20 hours, we're probably almost in Spain.
Well, yeah. Europe
So
is crazy small compared to Russia and like bigger countries.
yeah, that puts a lot of things in perspective if you compare the two.
Yeah.
Um, so reverting back a bit again, you're doing freelance on the side, but are you also working in a company right now?
Yeah. I'm just trying to manage all of this because I don't know. I just want to surround myself with design. So yeah, basically, I'm working with in like the agency from a city that is nearby, next to us, basically like an hour away, I think, or something. Maybe I'm wrong. And yeah, I'm trying to freelance, but I can manage only one project currently because yeah, just don't want to be overwhelmed.
Well, I was also gonna ask how do you handle all that because that's pretty much.
Yeah, design is just everywhere. Not gonna lie, it's in my phone because like I have a blog. I have this blog, and it's in every day. Like when you surround yourself with design, I don't know. If you don't burn out, you're gonna eventually um, become one of the best in the field. So that's what I'm trying to do, and that's why I'm trying to do it. So I don't know. Somehow I'm managing it. I'm just waking up, trying to wake up before 9. I have like few hours to do freelance projects. Then at 11 a.m. I start working for my agency if we have any tasks, because like the agency is really small and sometimes we don't have much tasks. But let's say at a normal day, I work like from 11 a.m. to like say 7 p.m. And then after 7 p.m., I go back to freelance projects. And yeah, that's it. That's how I do it basically. And yeah,
I
so if of course like having a rest, maybe I'm like sleeping at some of the points of my like working day. Like not working every time, but yeah, I like this schedule kind of because like I can go rest anytime and do whatever I want as soon as the tasks are like finished. So yeah,
yeah, I think you made a great system for yourself that works in the
thanks.
end, and I think you'll gain a lot of experience for doing all those things together and still manage to separate time for each different project or thing you're doing. So
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. What about you? I think you have worked at the agency as well, right?
yeah, when I finished my bachelor, I was able to start at the company that I did an internship at. So I'm doing that for almost 3 years now, um, and that kept me going. And I wanted to start something on myself as well. So I started this Instagram and the company for myself as well. So that's how I'm trying to build some freelance exposure.
Whoa. Didn't know you have a company, man.
Well, it's not really a company. It's like you register yourself as a freelancer. So that's why
Uh-huh.
you need a company name and stuff.
Oh, yeah, I think you've told me about it. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Um, so what was you said you surround yourself with design like everywhere. You also manage a blog. Can you tell me a bit more about that?
Yeah, actually, speaking about managing a blog, that doesn't really work out this month. I only posted once, and at the start of the month. I think 8th of March. And yeah, it's not perfect. The strategy is not perfect, and I don't really have time for blog right now. But I really like this blog. I really like the community, so I spend some time each day. I'm trying to, at least speak to people if I can't post. At least like upload some stories and share other people's works, support someone else. So, and that actually makes my blog like keeps it alive.
And where can
So
we
yeah.
find this blog?
Oh, by the way, yeah, you can find it at 7x Design. That's it. Instagram.
Design.com
Yep.
or
Nope. It's on Instagram. 7x Design on Instagram.
very cool.
Yep.
So, what was the main reason for you to start on Instagram?
Well, actually, I just wanted to see what can I get from it, basically. Like, I was just curious. I didn't know any, like, blogger and, like, I think designer who has a blog, and didn't know that, like, what can it give to me. So I was like, why not? Let's do it. Not for followers, not for, like, um, getting more clients or stuff like that, just for fun. So I started uploading, and only then I started to see what it gives to a person, what it gives to like a designer to have a blog. Basically, you not only you get clients, not only can get clients and like you gain reputation, but you also meet so much new people, which is, I think, like the most awesome part of like this journey. So yeah, I think that's one of the reasons you started as well, right?
Yeah,
Or
for
you
sure.
keep doing it.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons I wanted to see if it's able to grow a little community for myself and people that share the same interests. So,
Yeah.
um,
So
really
what are
cool.
your reasons? What did you think when you started this blog?
Well,
What do you expect?
I was pretty much a newbie for using Instagram. So um, I know it's a really big platform and I don't want to use it for personal use. But then I saw a lot of people using it for business use. And that's what really sparked some curiosity in me. Um, I just wanted to see if I was able to do that as well. So that's the reason why I started, and I wanted to share an honest opinion, share more failures than others, because I feel like everyone is still using a little bit of a highlight reel um, on their Instagram, and I think that's not how life works. So that's also a thing I
Yeah.
wanted to address for myself, and see if people are following along with that same passion that I have and the same uh, yeah kind of understanding that I have. So that's the reason why I started.
Good point. Yeah. You just wanted to, it was just curious, right?
Yeah, just curiosity,
Wow.
indeed. Yeah. So I saw that you use the 7x handle a lot. Is it something that has a kind of a deeper meaning for you, or is it just something you came up with?
Hmm. Actually, this 7 is my favorite number, and X is just like,
Times.
well, it actually means nothing really, but if I will try to give a meaning, which I was like thinking about it, what does my username even mean? Why am I using this everywhere? You can say that um, I'm multiplying, like whatever I do, I'm multiplying it by 7. So like 7x, and it gives like 7 times more outcome. Something like that. So
Uh,
like the 10x, I think Grant Cardone's 10x or something like that is similar, right? Have you heard of it?
yeah, I've heard of it, and I think that's what I
Something like
thought.
that.
Um, the way you are using it as well, but I think if you use it for like anything that you make, you will get 7x from it. So,
Thanks, man.
and uh, 7x is also a thing that actually happened to your Instagram account because your audience was growing steadily with the post that you made, and then you made a certain collaboration. Can you tell me more
Yeah,
about that?
that was a crazy post. So for all of you guys that don't know about it, it was about basically the roadmap of UI designer. So I made it in like carousel style, basically from the start to finish. What should you do to become a UI designer, basically, uh, which is like super, super simplified again, but it was true. And it was based on some research. So yeah, I actually came up with this idea when I saw like a Medium post, something similar to that. And I decided to do something like that and drop it on Instagram. And I was like, I should do like a collaboration as well, because that can give my post like a few more like 100, maybe like, I don't know, reach or like whatever, likes something. Maybe more people can see it, and this may be useful for, I don't know, few people as well. And I actually went to I started searching for people who I can do like collaboration with. I didn't actually think much, and I chose Chala. She's a great designer. She's a Turkish designer who is in this design game for a long time, and so I asked her if we can collaborate, and we did. And so this post like has blown up. It had like around 3 or 4 thousand um, saves, I think. So like 3,000 people have saved the post. That was crazy. The amount of likes was crazy. That was thousands, and so many new followers, which was like not my goal, not something I was doing this for, but still, it was like a good bonus, like a cherry on the top. And so many people did actually like it, and yeah, that actually motivated me to do it. So yeah.
Yeah, really interesting. And to give a bit of background info to the audience, how many followers did you have before you made that post?
Oh,
Do you know that?
actually, not. I don't really remember, but I remember the fact that I was like my account was growing rapidly. I had like 10 followers every hour, I think, or more, maybe like 10 to 20 followers an hour at some point. Like the highest amount of followers I got in one day was like something close to 90 or 100, which
Yeah,
is a lot to me.
yeah,
Like
incredible.
that.
Yeah, if you see it's not about like we don't have a million followers or something, but if you
True.
see the uh, percentage that it changed, it's like if you could buy stocks with that, you'd be rich as hell. So
Yeah, that's a
uh,
good point.
that was really cool to see because I remembered, I think you had like 300 or 400 or something before that post came out.
Uh-huh.
And then after it just exploded. Like you had to record the uh,
Video messages every day.
every day. Yeah.
That's true, man. That's true. What did you think at that point?
Well,
What were you thinking?
I was like, man, you really made something spark. um, and that was
Yeah.
somehow made that some kind of guideline for me. After
Mhm.
that, I started making posts, and I always thought like, how could I make something spark like that? Because I don't feel like um, it's the most interesting post that you made. I think that you made better ones than that, but somehow it
Yeah.
clicked with a lot of people in different audiences. So that was really exciting for
That's
me to
great.
see.
Yeah, that's
So
true. A lot of audiences.
yeah, because I saw it was also shared across a lot of community accounts. Did they ask permission for that, or how
That
did
was
they?
just reposting. And some of them asked permission, really, and some of them just, were reposting it right away. And I don't really mind that as soon as they give credits and as soon as like more people learn. Because yeah, I'm just happy if someone learned or got inspired. And actually, I'm really glad that you were inspired by this.
Yeah, yeah, really.
uh,
Um,
yeah.
okay, and
Just wanted to ask you something, but I
yeah,
forgot what was the question, man. I was thinking
if
about the question. Are you
yeah,
like,
if you remember, just let me know.
sure.
I'll answer it. So after all that, like, okay, the post went on for like a week or so, maybe a little bit more. How did you feel after that, making that post and seeing the results? Like,
I felt really weird. I didn't like even believe it. Like at first I was like, No, there's no way that it's gonna get 100 likes. Okay, this is too much." Because like at that time I was getting 40 likes, like 50 likes at max, and this one instantly started to skyrocket. So I was like, okay, 100 likes, sure. And then my phone literally started to blow up as soon as some big account have reposted it. This was like a notification every minute or two, and the amount of notifications I was getting overnight, it was crazy. So many people were like DMing me, asking me to like teach them, mentor them, or something like that. Can you I don't know, be my mentor or something like that? I was like, no, 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 I'm not that experienced. Come on, like, but still, I was like, almost getting this starstruck. And yeah, it quickly 100 likes turned to 1,000, and then more. And I was just like, okay, it was probably a good post. And then I started to actually search for the reasons. So I might actually give you a little secret how this happened.
yeah, please let me know.
Um, this actually, yeah, if I would show you the stats, if you would see the stats, you would see that the most people came from hashtags. So hashtags are the big, big, big difference. It's not really about the fact that it was a collaboration, even though, yeah, actually Chala, she reposted it, and it got a lot of attentions because of it, but I think 30,000 people came from hashtags, which is crazy.
Yeah,
Maybe even more.
yeah, incredible. Yeah, well, for any of the audience listening, you can visit the post and you can see what hashtags that he used for his post.
Yeah.
Maybe it can inspire some people to use hashtags that are similar to yours. Or um, I think it's really incredible what happened with that, and it shows how the Instagram algorithm works. And when it works to your advantage, you can blow up really quick. Um, that's really cool to see. So thank you for that insight, actually.
True. Yeah, no worries.
Uh,
Yeah.
so did it also make you anxious of making the next post or the sequel to it somehow?
Yes, it did. You guessed it so right. It actually did. I was so worried, and I was like on this, pressure, really pressured because I had to make it even better than that one. And I kind of failed. I don't remember what that post was, but I think it was like really bad, really bad.
And how did it turn out then?
There's some,
Why did it
yeah.
feel that you need to make it better?
Because I don't know, when I do something, I always feel like I should like the next attempt should be better than the previous one. I should always outwork myself, outdo myself, outperform myself. Like I should be better than yesterday. This is like my mindset every day. So I was feeling like, hey, I should do even better than this. So, but I failed. That post was like not really good because the wording wasn't really correct. So that's actually a big lesson for everyone who's listening right now. You shouldn't be, you shouldn't force yourself to create a post, okay? If you feel like you should like do something, do it, but don't force yourself like, oh, I should do it right now. I should post something. And yeah, that's just
Yeah, that's a great tip
not how you
actually.
should create a content.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think a lot of people struggle with that as well. As soon as they see like, oh, I reach a new all-time high with engagement, then it sets the bar for like anything that you create after that. So,
Yeah.
and most of the time, it's really a mental problem for yourself that you really want to overcome what you made. And most of the people, like, I don't even care if it's getting more likes for you, you know?
Yeah.
Um, so
That's true.
how
Hmm.
would you, what advice would you give for someone starting out on Instagram right this second?
Just put out the content. Put out what you really think. Don't copy someone. Just share your works. Share your works. If you share your works, people, your clients will come. And if you share like some designer advice and stuff like that, other designers will come. Like definitely, if you're gonna post every once in like 3 days, I think. Once in 2 days, once in 3 days, you will have a good enough audience for sure. If you're just gonna be consistent and good. That's a long advice, I know, but just
No, I don't feel it's a
just
long
gotta
advice.
post something, and yeah, depends on what you post actually.
Yeah, I feel like it's really genuine advice. I feel like what you post is what you get out from it. And
Yeah,
that's what you said perfectly, actually. So if you want clients post your work, and if you want more community-like stuff, then post advice for your audience that you like to have a community with. So
yeah.
that's
So,
right.
what is your audience like? The main audience of your profile?
Well, to be honest, I don't really know. I feel like uh, more of the people that like inspirational stuff or something right now,
Yeah,
because I'm not really posting like any work or any design tip carousels or something. It's
yeah,
most of the things I post are still things that I feel like in that week, um, or more like updates of what I'm doing at the moment. I want
yeah.
to,
So, like a personal blog, something like that.
yeah, yeah, more so, and I want to structure that a bit more. Also, with this kind of content, I feel like this is way more uh, actionable advice for people starting out on Instagram and creating a community around it. So it's a great
Yeah,
way to start here, I think. Um, but I'm still looking
Yeah.
for
Do you want
ways.
to like niche down?
Sorry.
Yeah. Do you want to like create a niche or something for yourself,
Um,
like your own field, basically?
yeah, tough one. I don't really know what the niche would be then, but I think it's a good way to niche down for creating better content for the people that really care.
Yeah, that's a
Um,
good point.
yeah.
So
So
like something like ethical design, like closer to that, right? So something like Julia creates.
yeah, Julia creates something that she found for herself, I think, in her bootcamp stuff, and
Yeah.
I feel like that really fits her. I don't know if it will fit me somehow. I'm more of like, how can you make something motivational practical?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if there's any kind of niche in that, but I feel like uh, I also post some quotes and stuff, and I feel like how can you make that actionable? And I still need to find a way to show people that. But that's why one of my my kind of online mentors is Tim Ferriss, because I feel like he's done like a lot of things that seem really big but are really practical when he
Yeah.
explains it or does it. So,
Mm. Yeah, that's a good point.
but I still need to maybe I'm going to try to make a new account and post more stuff for clients, because I also want it to be for clients as well, not only for creating a community, but that will be a bit of yeah present in the future.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
okay.
I like where you're going. Actually, like the podcast. It's. I really hope that it's gonna, blow up as much as that post we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, that will be really nice. Yeah, I feel like I always liked conversations with people, and this is a great way to share knowledge. So that's why I wanted to start it. So
Yeah, I'm actually really curious who you're gonna invite next.
y-
And yeah,
you'll see in a few days or weeks. So
oh,
I have a couple of people lined up already. So
I'm really glad I'm the first one to be invited, man. That's really great. That really means a lot, actually.
well, it means a
So
lot to me
thanks.
too that you're able to take some time for this.
Oh,
So
oh, come on, man.
so let's continue this bromance with some. I have a couple of final questions, and then I want to wrap it up. So,
Sure.
uh, what is your favorite way to learn new things?
Well, just practice, I'd say. I just usually go straight up, like the true Russian way. I just do it.
Just full force?
No lessons. Yeah, just no books about it. Not no like um just a quick example. I always wanted to learn Webflow. Always wanted to learn Webflow. And I was like thinking, I should probably watch some, lessons, watch some videos. Instead of that, I went to webflow.com or something like that. I just started doing, started like working with this sandbox. The same with stocks. I don't know shit about stocks. And I didn't watch a single video about it. I just started to, read news, watch the stocks go up and down, up and down. And then I actually started to understand how all of this works. And yeah, the way I'm learning is just by practice, I guess. What about you?
That's really a great mentality to have.
Thanks.
I feel like you learn a lot quicker that way. I always try to learn stuff before I do things, and somehow it always ends up in an information overload for the first steps. I always
Yeah.
learn like things that only an expert can use, and I'm still at part one.
Yeah. So totally different way, right?
Yeah, totally different way. Yeah, I I really like to digest all the information, but I feel like it could be a little bit more of your way of thinking. I think that will benefit me for gaining quicker experience in something.
Yeah, it's just like uh, people usually learn how to swim just by jumping in the water.
Yeah,
That's like something, I think it's a Russian thing to
great quote.
learn
Yeah,
to know. Something like that. Yeah, we have something like a quote for this in Russia. Like, yeah.
yeah. I also like. I don't know if you watch Gary V, but he also says like, you can't hire someone to do a push-up for you. So I
Man,
feel like
that's
that's really true. You need to do it yourself and just get out there and just do it.
true, true.
So
Wow, that's actually a great quote. You
yeah,
can't hire someone to do a push-up for you. Man, that's
yeah, you can hire someone to give you a kick in the balls to do it, but
yeah, sometimes we need that.
yeah,
Sometimes people actually need that to start doing something.
yeah. So do you have like any kind of mentor that you follow for advice or something, or is it always you yourself and your motivation?
Well, I think, yeah, one of my mentors in the past, it was like my friend who is currently working in a big ass company right now. Um, he's a programmer. He's actually a web developer, but he also knows stuff about design. So when I was like only starting, he was helping me a lot, and he was my inspiration. He was a reason I started doing better. He was like critiquing my work. He was like criticizing my work. Sorry, a lot, but in a good way. And so I was learning a lot. And right now, my mentor is, I think, my art director in the agency I'm working for, because he also like not only he's giving me the task to do daily, but he's also teaching me a lot of stuff. So yeah, I think having a mentor is really important, and maybe Rude, you even should become one because I think that you love motivation, and that's, I think, a good way to niche. You can be a mentor for people. You can just motivate them and give them the good old kick in the balls.
Learn
What do you
them
think
that
about it?
push up. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
really nice to hear. I think there's a truth in that. I always hate it when someone says I can't do it, or like one of the things I hear a lot is like, "Oh, I'm not that creative. I can't do that the way as you, the same as you do." And I feel
Yeah.
like that's so not true. Everyone is creative somehow and can make the things I do if they do a little bit of practice and um, just step over that little thing that they see as a freaking wall of
Yeah.
insecurity, and it's not that big, you know.
Yeah. Totally, man. Totally.
And yeah, really cool to hear that you have mentors that are uh, close to you and that you can ask for advice like anytime. So, are you still in contact with that programmer?
Yeah. Yeah. He's one of my closest friends, actually. Well, they weren't like my mentors, like official mentors, and they're just like something like a mentor figures for me, because like always helping out, if anything.
Yeah, that's what I mean by
Just
it.
to say, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I feel like a mentor is not someone that's your teacher in class.
True.
It can
Do
be,
you
but
think yeah? Do you think it's important for like a young designer to have a mentor?
I think so. I think it's when someone has a lot of experience, I think they can steer a young person in the right direction. Um,
Yeah.
and I feel like if they don't have that advice and they do whatever they want, they like it's the same as when you're young and you get some money. What do you buy? Candy or like a game, or you buy the right things for you in that time, but actually they are
Hmm.
not the right things. And I don't say that kids shouldn't buy candy or something. They can buy candy if they like that, but um, I feel if they get a little bit of a push in the right direction, like maybe save some money so you can buy a bigger thing or like a PlayStation or something like that, it will
Hmm.
reward you later on.
True. That's a good analogy, man. Yeah.
Okay, well,
Completely.
yeah, I wanted to ask you one more question and then we'll wrap this up. Uh, what is one thing you like to explore more of?
The world. The world, the countries, the the life, I think itself, because still don't know like a lot, and yeah, I just want to see everything basically. Like not everything, it's impossible to see everything, but like I just want to travel a lot. I just want to experience cool things, great experiences, meet great people basically, and yeah, do all of this stuff so I won't regret any single thing when I'm going to be on the deathbed. And yeah, that's what I want from life.
I think
That's a
that's
really good question.
a great start, and I hope you are able to explore the world really soon when all of this is over and you're able to
Yeah,
explore like Europe, come visit the Netherlands sometime.
sure.
I think it's as you say, travel is a big inspiration, even for us as designers. So, um, yeah, great to hear.
That's
Great
great,
to hear.
man.
Great answer as well. Well,
Yeah, great question, man. All of the questions were great. That's a really successful podcast, I think.
I hope so too. I hope
Right.
the audience enjoyed it as well. So, well,
Yeah, I really hope so.
Anzor, thank you for being the first guest on this show. I had a lot of fun.
Me too, man.
We will speak
Yeah.
each other with each other soon enough. And I'd like to end this episode with a question for the audience. I'd like to give you the honor of asking them. So, Anzor, have you thought about a question?
Yeah, I actually have. And dear audience, I was curious about this whole inspiration topic. I was thinking, who inspires you out of our fellow designers, like in our community, or maybe not in our community, maybe like in the whole world. Maybe it's your mom. Maybe it's like Elon Musk. Maybe it's, I don't know, someone else. So who inspires you and why? That's the question for you guys.
Great question. And we'll wrap this up with that question. So, thank you for coming, Anzor, and thank you for listening, audience. And we'll see you
Thank
back.
you for inviting me. Thank you for having me, man. That was yeah, I really enjoyed it, man. Just speechless. Really excited. Was really excited before doing all of this, and yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah, really nice to hear. We'll get back to you soon enough. Bye, guys.
Yep. Bye.
That's about it. Thank you so much for listening to this show. I hope it was enjoyable to you and you also got some valuable insights. It would mean the world to me if you could let me know what you thought about this episode. You can find me on Instagram at ruud.exploor, ruud.exploor, or on Twitter ruud_exploor. So let's have a chat and hopefully see you next time. Bye bye.